Okay, we are back. Jodie is back with us, and we have a new guest. I'd like to give you a chance to introduce yourself.
My name is Darby Rodgers. I'm a former CIC student, and now I'm alumni.
Good. No, that's okay. Take your time. So when you went to St. Lawrence College and you were in that program,
Yes.
What was your main area of interest? What were you studying?
I was studying general arts and science.
Okay.
So I kind of had a variety of different classes that I was participating in.
Mm-hmm.
Like I did a bit of, I remember some business classes. I've done some child and youth classes, mental health awareness classes.
What was your favorite?
The child and youth.
Yeah.
I think because that's what I wanted to do when I graduated.
Yeah.
After I did graduate that class, I did get a job at the YMCA, which was a foot in the right direction.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I got laid off because of COVID, so that's where now I'm leaning towards PSW work. That's
really
kind of
cool.
similar. So
that is really, really important work.
yeah,
And in my opinion, just not valued enough.
No.
The PSWs, because I've dealt with them a lot for my kids, right?
Yeah.
And we always try to show our appreciation because it's not easy work, especially when you have kids. Some kids, they are little fireballs. And they can have really big feelings and a lot of emotions and a lot of aggression, really. It was something that we dealt with a lot. So, you have these PSWs who are just dedicating themselves to these kids. And I think it's really commendable work. I think it's really cool.
Yeah.
So what was it about the program that you found helped you the most, I guess?
The environment was really positive. I find when you take the environment of that, compared to police foundations or firefighting, it's a little more accepting.
Yeah.
If you make a mistake or something.
Yeah.
So I felt comfortable.
That's
and
amazing.
That's yeah.
So let's go back, Darby. How come you decided to go into the CIC program?
I decided to go in the CIC program. Well, first off, I wanted to go off to college, but a lot of my supporters didn't know if I would be able to attend college because of my learning disability, and I am horrible at social
Same
things. So, yeah, it sucks.
Feel you.
But I took it because my favorite teacher found this thing online that there was an orientation at the BCI, I think it was, or TIS. TIS, actually.
Okay.
And in this orientation, there was the CIC program was a part of it, and it was for people with learning disabilities. So it was a good way of me to get into college without taking the actual program and not really dropping out or something.
Yeah, it was a safe space where you could continue to grow and learn without having to commit to the rigorous learning.
And students who enter the CIC program, they maybe don't have the prerequisites to get into a mainstream program.
Oh.
I didn't. Yeah, that's another reason.
Yeah.
So our prerequisites would be either they have their high school diploma, their high school certificate of accomplishment, or just be 19 when they start in September. So without any of those other...
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Super
credentials.
Impressive. So what is what's the application process like? I know you said they have an orientation where they meet in person, and what's that like?
So they need to attend an information session to find out what the program is and make sure it's the right fit for them.
Okay.
And then they would apply through OCAS, just like every other mainstream program in Ontario. And we have a separate application package where our students have to answer a few questions about like what their hobbies and interests are, and why do they think the CIC program is the right fit for them, and what type of supports do they feel they need, kind of thing. Okay. And then we also ask for 2 references, and we reach out to the references, and they complete a form for us. And we also ask for documentation that proves that there's a need for a modification. So that's usually an IEP or psych ed assessment. But if families don't have psych ed assessments, we tell them.
Yeah, because they can be really hard to come by for some families, right? It's not easy to navigate all of that for your kid, especially if you don't know the education system, right? It can be daunting.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And some of our students have been out of high school for a long time and don't have access to documentation. And in those cases, they're usually attached to an agency who could write a letter for them.
Okay. Cool. And how did you find getting into the program and that process? Was it easy,
it was actually a lot easier than I imagined it would be, because like I remember the first day that I entered that classroom, like it's almost like I ran into a good friend that I knew before college, Felicia, cool. Which made it a lot more easy. And then I kind of became friends with her group, and I had my own group there, a few students. So it was
a nice transition. I'm sure you were probably nervous leading up to it, but once you were there, you have to push through those, right? Yeah, I feel the same way when I have a big like days like today, for example. I always have nerves, getting into it, and then the second I get there and I get started and I'm fine. It's just pushing through that uncertainty, right? That those nerves. I think they're totally normal. Everybody feels that way.
And most students feel that way. Mainstream students feel that way, but it's a little bit more pronounced with our cohort of students. So we have an additional orientation for our students. So they get onto our platforms before anyone else does, and they get additional tours, and we show them where their classrooms are before classes start. And so it does take a while to get used to the campus, but we're lucky in Brockville. We've got the smallest campus, which is really nice, actually. It feels like a big high school, and class sizes are pretty manageable. So our core CIC classes are never bigger than 10 students. That's our cap per year. And mainstream classes could be anywhere between 15, 20 students on average, right? Yeah. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I do remember.
There's some classes that are a bit bigger. Maybe you're heading to about 40 students.
Yeah.
Yeah, but our students have their learning specialists there with them.
So a learning specialist is somebody who goes to class with you, and I guess depending on your accommodation or your need can just be your support person, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so they're there to take notes for the students, so they could just relax and listen to the lecture and not have the stress of taking down the notes and worrying about capturing all that information.
That's amazing. That's really cool.
Yeah. And then during tutoring, the learning specialist will review what the faculty went over in class, but they'll review more modified expectations with our students.
Okay.
It's a great collaboration between the learning specialists and faculty. So faculty will give our learning specialists assignments and tests in advance. Our learning specialists will modify it, send back to faculty for approval. So it's 2 people thinking about the education of one individual.
Person. That's amazing. So it's safe to say you felt supported. Yeah. Or else I guess you wouldn't be here singing its praises.
That's true,
So how has life been for you, post? You're an alumni now. So how's life after school?
Very good, actually. I have held quite a few jobs after I graduated.
Good for you.
I worked at the Superstore, the YMCA, Trillium for a bit. Now I'm at the Brewery, and I'm also doing going for PSW in September.
Right.
So
are you doing that at St. Lawrence College too?
Yeah.
What did you do before that?
Before
PSW.
Oh, PSW.
There was something in between CICE and PSW. you were hanging out on campus for a while. Academic upgrading.
Oh,
right?
academic upgrading. Yeah. Sorry.
That's okay. He's like, what am I supposed to say?
Yeah, sorry. Yeah.
I put you on the spot. I'm sorry, Darby.
So you continued learning.
I continued learning.
Good for you.
I had to get my grade 11, 12 math and English, which took me about 6 months to achieve, but I finally did it.
Amazing.
And yeah.
Good for you.
Now...
I love the smile on his face when he says
It's
that.
amazing because from what I gather, he wanted to do academic upgrading before CICE.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
So how did that work out?
I don't think the greatest, no.
No, it wasn't good before CICE.
No, before CICE.
So how come it worked out after CICE?
I really learned about what I wanted to do with my life.
Yeah.
And like, there's a lot of programs that I couldn't do without those upgrades, extra support.
No,
so I wanted to go back and I wanted to do something better.
Yeah. And why shouldn't you? Why shouldn't you do that, right?
Yeah. Shouldn't be limited.
One of the things that I really appreciate about post-secondary schooling, because I used to work at the University of Ottawa. I worked there for 12 years.
Wow.
And I studied there too, part-time while I worked. And one of the things that I used to say a lot when I worked there, and I still say a lot, is that the nice thing about our education system is that it's always there. It's always an option. You could be a 90-year-old man sitting in a recliner, you know, and you're like, you know what, I want to go back to school and I want to take, children's lit.
Yeah.
Sure, go back, you can audit the course. You don't even have to do the exams, right? But it's always there. Yeah. There's always a community of people who want to learn, who want to engage, who want to do better, be better. And I love that about campuses. I adore learning. I love school.
Yeah.
Took me a really long time to learn how to love school. I don't think I actually loved school until I was, in my early 30s. But once you learn to love it and appreciate it, it changes you, right?
Yeah.
I love that you say that because, I didn't love school until I was in post-secondary. Yeah. When I was finally choosing my own courses to study.
Right?
Yeah,
just student-led learning. And I think you guys have that down. I really want to thank you for coming. And Jason, if you're still here, thank you for coming and speaking about the program. And anybody who's interested can contact St. Lawrence College. And I really hope that people from the community will also reach out to you if they have ideas for placements.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. Thank you so much for having us, Kate, and helping us spreading the word about this wonderful program.
Cheers with your invisible cup.